Welcome back into 641 on your Tuesday morning. Retiring early is a goal that almost seems made up, like it's not actually possible unless you hit the lottery or have some rich uncle you didn't know existed. So is it doable for all of us normal people who can't even win $5 on a scratch off and have an uncle who lives in a van down by the river? Chris Mediate is here to let us know this morning. Good morning, my friend.
That's good.
Well, we had the SNL reference early on. I might as well do a little throwback. So first, how challenging is it to make this a reality, depending on how early you want to retire?
Yeah, it depends on the person, right? So lifestyle is a big dictator. So again, when you're looking at this, Steve, one of the key things is set your financial goals, right? Get them started. Sounds basic, sounds really easy, but the truth is we want to look and actually set realistic goals. What is it that I'm trying to do? And usually that is dictated by your lifestyle, which then is what? Comprised of your income. So what people don't realize is how important deciding exactly what cost of living, what I'm going to do to have fun, what's my life going to look like, and I have to set realistic expectations to do that. And so when I can kind of do that, I can sort of start backing my way in. So what do you think the first thing we got to do in order to allow us to do that is build a comprehensive financial plan, okay? Because when we have that goal and we realize how important income is, we want to be prepared to say, how am I getting that income? Where's it coming from? So it's like a roadmap, right? It's like a GPS. What can interfere with my ability to retire early? What if I retire into a bad economy? What if the market volatility? So your financial plan wants to be able to answer everything. So it's very realistic if we set realistic goals and targets, meaning different timelines, because if I can do that, then I can see how close I'm approaching it.
You've talked about the fire method in the past. You've touched on a little bit. That's a little more extreme, but sacrifices will have to be made regardless if you want to do this, right?
Well, it's going to have to be, because this is where you start cutting back on expenses, like the fire movement. I mean, they're telling you to save up to more than 50% of what you make. I mean, that's rough, Steve. I mean, our goal is to shoot for you to do at least 20%. So, but you have to make sacrifices. You have to cut things out. You have to adapt and change lifestyle. So if you have to look and say, am I enjoying life now, or do I want to do this? Do I want to get out earlier to start enjoying it sooner? Which means you're going to sacrifice a lot, meaning you're going to have to maximize and start really saving quite a bit more and cut things out.
I'm standing here going, I want to enjoy both. I want to enjoy life during this period of time and later on.
Right.
So, I mean, sacrificing lifestyle, making lifestyle changes, do you have to approach your investment strategy a little differently, too?
I mean, each person is different, obviously, with tolerance, but 100%, because there's a bunch of things you have to start to think about. One of the keys that I think a lot of people don't realize is, what type of account am I invested in? And when people say, what does that exactly mean? Well, think about it. You have pre-tax money, you have after-tax, like Roth money, and then you have taxable accounts, like brokerage accounts or savings accounts. And so I want to create that diversity, meaning I don't want to put, if I'm retiring before 59 and a half, or even say before 55, I don't want to put all my accounts in a pre-tax account, because guess what happens, Steve? If I'm before 59 and a half, I'm going to be penalized and taxed. So I want to spread out the diversification. We want to target that kind of stuff. We want to diversify. That's easier said than done. But again, the risk tolerance that we're trying to do in the allocation has to be set to the goal that we're attempting to do. Remember, that is dictated by lifestyle, and that's really, really important to be able to do it.
And lastly, before we let you go, I mean, you have to tackle your debt early too, because so you're not paying those interest rates?
Yeah, because if you think about it, high interest debt gets in our way, and because now if I'm spending all this money on a 12, 15, 18, 20% interest rate, right, it's going to clog up my ability to save. So when I start focusing on my debt plan, I free that up, which now, again, that flow's going out. People don't realize that cash flow is already going out. So we want to turn it from bad debt into a good thing, meaning we want the cash flow to stay the same, but now instead of paying debt, we want to turn around and start saving money. So the first thing we want to do is eliminate debt as well.
Get rid of that debt, make a plan, and I guess maybe make some sacrifices in the process if you want to retire pretty early. It can be done. It can be done. Just depends on what you're willing to do.
That's
Chris,
right.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you so much. Well, coming up next, we'll learn more about Dope Cider House and how the business is making history one drink at a time.